Hi everyone, warm welcome to Megha's Mic Drop. Here we are going to talk with leaders in the financial industry, India, internationally, globally, everywhere, with just one objective to get you growth hacks, things which worked for them, how we can imbibe those things, how we can pick those things and make our own career also bulletproof. Stay tuned, one mic drop at a time. Megha's Mic Drop. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to Megha's Mic Drop. Very excited to be with Davina Myburgh from here. She's dialing in from South Africa. So, a very quick sneak preview. Davina is the director at TransUnion LLC. She's leading activities that contribute to growth of fraud and ID business across 9 international countries. That's quite a lot. She's working on sales enablement, product enablement, GTM, you name it. She's on top of things. Highly accomplished, highly respectable leader, a renowned women leader. Very happy and excited to have you here, Davina. Warm welcome.
Thanks so much, Megha. I'm happy to be here.
Perfect. Thank you. So that was a formal interview. Davina, we want to break the ice with the audience who are here, aspiring financial leaders, India and outside. What's that fun thing which you want to also tell about your, fairly well-rounded personality?
Yeah, something fun or personal to me is I'm a mom of 2 children. Love spending time with them. Love doing things like hiking or going camping with them. Doing sports with them. We really enjoy being outside. So yes, it's about spending time with my family and obviously with nature.
Yeah, wow, wonderful. And you also have a lot of pets, right? So she's highly accomplished and doing exceptionally well in her career, a doting mom of 2 kids and camping every other weekend, plus got a lot of pets. Which all pets you have, Davina?
So I have 2 Scottish Terriers, little dogs.
Wow.
Then we have 2 cats that a feral cat out in my yard, and they've kind of just hung around ever since. And come and we feed them, and my son loves them. So yeah, 4 pets that go with it.
Awesome. Thank you for taking out time. I'm sure there are a lot of things which, the team here, people out here listening can learn from you. Very quickly, just to break the ice, such that people know you a little bit more. Fire chat, a quick fire chat, one word answer only. Beach or mountains?
Each.
Beach. Coffee or tea?
Yeah, I can't do that in one word. It's a vanilla latte. I don't drink plain coffee or tea.
All right. And what about cats or dogs? You got it both.
I work both, but I prefer dogs.
Okay. The loyal ones. Are you a morning person? You want to conquer the world as you get up in the morning, or a night owl? Everyone's done with the day and now it's the time.
Definitely a morning person.
Morning person. Wonderful. Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
Comedy. And if you go out to eat, pizza or sushi?
Pizza.
Pizza. Okay, my daughter loves that too. Fiction or non-fiction?
Definitely fiction.
Fiction. Fun. That's nice. Yeah, are you a summer person or you like winters?
I prefer summer. I like being warm.
Okay, awesome. Summers. Books or movies?
Books.
Books. Are you like a last minute person or very pre-planned, systematic, methodical?
Very pre-planned, very
Ah,
organized.
absolutely. And I've seen it firsthand. Awesome. And before we close, what is your dream car?
My dream car is a Ferrari F430 Spider.
Wow. Which color you want it to be?
Definitely in red.
Red Ferrari, of course. I'm waiting to get into it in your dream car for a nice ride in Joburg. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so we'll before we get into the heart of our discussion, we'll ask you a few questions, Davina, with the intent that all these aspiring financial leaders, women leaders, and otherwise, when they are working in their own career journey, there are things which people want to learn from an international leader, a global leader. So we can start with, say, one movement that really shaped your approach to leadership in context of financial industry. Maybe like a pivotal movement from your own career journey, the one thing which comes to your head.
Perfect. So I think for me, when I started working, I kind of learned a couple of tricks that I'd love to share. And that was around you go to varsity, you study something, you think this is what I'm going to be for the rest of my life, and it's clear, right? But it didn't work out that way for me. It was a case of I started doing a job at our local broadcasting organization, writing economic news stories while I did my honors, and really enjoyed that. Really got to learn about our economy, how it works, etc., from a more practical perspective.
Mhm.
And then once I had finished my honors, I was doing this in the afternoons, and somebody came and said, "Don't you want to temp as an HR
Wow.
assistant?" So working in human resources, 100% something I didn't study, didn't think I'd ever focus on, but I really got to spend some time learning about the human element in business. Um, and that for me was quite critical. And then I got an opportunity to work for one of our key banks, but on a graduate program, and we went through multiple roles. So I worked in credit, I did some project management in the fraud department, I worked in product, and through all of it, I learned what I wanted, which ultimately was to go into product. But I also learned to work with different stakeholders. I learned to work with different roles. I learned what was important in an operations perspective versus a business perspective versus a client perspective. And I think for me, that was the number one thing that set me up for success was the fact that when I went into the business world and knew what I wanted to do, I knew how my role would impact other roles and impact those around me.
Wow, wow, that's a very deep point. Being multi-dimensional in your career, taking everything in your stride, and picking up relevant nuggets from each role, such that by the time you are in the final, you've chosen what you want to do. You are well prepared, well packaged. Perfect. Thank you for sharing that. I think that's an important point for all of us to keep in our mind. Now, as young professionals, many of us, many in our audience are navigating their own set of challenges. Uh, sometimes being a women leader, there can be a challenge, or when you're early in your career, and sometimes maybe later. Can you share a personal anecdote about a significant obstacle which you faced, maybe say early on in your career, right? And how did you overcome that?
Absolutely. I think quite early in my career working in a bank, I'd been very blessed actually in all my roles to have really, really good leaders. In fact, most of my managers were female leaders, which was great to obviously show you how women succeed in business. But regardless of whether they were female or male, I had good leaders, good teams that I worked in. And at one stage, I'd been at the bank for about 2 years, so quite young still. I got a manager that was quite difficult. He was one that expected a lot of different work, would take credibility for your work, and he really didn't encourage teamwork or uh, an environment in which you really want to come to work every day. So it was quite challenging for me to adapt to this from coming from a really good team to this kind of almost dictatorship kind of environment. Like you don't really know what to expect. It was very difficult to adapt to. But one of the things that I learned through that process was that you still have to come to work every day. You still have to do your job. You may not agree with everybody's way of work or their ethics or their integrity, but you can still work with them. There's always a way to come and do your job in a manner that you still live your values, your ethics.
Another thing I've always, believed in is about mentorship. But I want to pick your brains on that. Do you believe mentorship can be instrumental in professional growth? Have you had a mentor who played a significant role in your career development? If so, how did their guidance impact your journey? And if you want to pick, things which you learned, the nuggets you learned, what advice would you give to our audience here seeking mentorship opportunities?
Perfect. Yeah. So I've gone through coaching and I've gone through mentors, and both from a formal and informal perspective. And I definitely think it's a critical part of a career, right? Because a coach or a mentor is just going to help you think through something. So they're not going to provide you with answers. But when you go there and you're like, this is really, I'm finding this difficult, or I'd like to be seen as this, and I'm feeling like I'm not being seen in this manner. They help you think through it, right? Asking the right questions, relaying experiences or examples that they potentially have seen, to help you understand how you're coming across. I also had a great mentor that would help me work through what my career should look like. So, okay, where do you want to be? Now you're here, you say you want to be here. What's that journey? Is it straight? What do you have to do? What's the expectations of this role? And really saying, one of the biggest things was, don't just rely on my opinion as your mentor, but go and ask other people. So if you want to become, for instance, senior director, who will you report into? Who will your key stakeholders be? Now go and ask every single one of them how they see you, how they expect a senior director to act. What is the journey between point A and point B? So I did find mentorship is very important, all levels of your career, even when you're just starting out, just to help you really think about, am I on the path that I want to be on? Is this the path? Is the path I think I want to be on the actual path I want to be on? And how do I get there?
Yeah, I think golden words, Davina. I think the journey from point A to point B, if you're able to map that, and if someone's able to guide us on that, very, very valuable. And how about building a personal brand? Do you think it is required, or if we are doing our job very well, if our audience, the aspiring leaders here, if they're doing their job very well, do they still need to invest separately time and energy in building a personal brand? Did you, in your experience, have you cultivated your own personal brand within the financial industry? What advice would you offer to young professionals who are looking to establish themselves in the field?
100%. I think your personal brand is something that's probably the most important thing you can invest in. It starts from a young age. As soon as you hit the corporate environment, what do you want to be seen as? What kind of relationships do you have with people? How do they see you versus how you think they see you? And what are the things that you really want to invest in? So if somebody says Megha, what are the 5 words you want them to immediately come top of mind? So for me, it's becoming increasingly important. As you say, in the digital age, it's more difficult. You're often not having meetings with people in person all the time in the way that we did when we grew our careers, right? And being in somebody's space is a lot easier to build a brand because they see you, they hear you, you're physically present. They get a lot more of your non-verbal cues when you're talking to them. I have found it particularly challenging when you're on video or you're not even on video and you're just talking, right? It's a very different thing to set your brand up that way. So you've got to focus on, what do you want to be known for? For me, it has always been quality, delivery, on time, right? That was my biggest thing. But then when I got to the stage that I wanted to now move into more senior management, it was, well, operational things is not the right thing for your brand to be, because quality delivery on time is going to keep you in a role because people need you to be doing that job all the time. So you need to now move yourself a step ahead and change your brand, which was quite difficult for me. So then I started looking at, okay, well, how do you become an authentic leader? How do you get people to trust you, to know that if they come to you, they'll get the right advice, the right knowledge, you're an SME in your business, um, and to really want to work with you because they see value in what you do. And that for me was the biggest thing to change in my brand as I went into a different role.
Thank you. So what we hear from you is that it's important early on in your career. The sooner you think about it, invest into it, it will help. And then you may have to keep reinventing yourself. So at certain point of your career, you can define your brand as XYZ. But as you are more aspirational, as you're looking for bigger and broader roles, you need to be more strategic, keep adding different elements to it. Thank you. Thank you for
And
that. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Perfect. And if there's one final takeaway you want our audience to remember, so when they think of Davina as a mentor, when I come to you as a mentor and ask you that one thing which you can tell me, something which I can implement right away, I can, close this podcast, go and start implementing that right away in my life. What would that be?
For me, the most important thing in business is the relationships you build. Ultimately, you as an individual have so many skills and so many strengths, but you cannot be brilliant at everything. Like people say, a jack of all trades and a master of none. Rather be a master of what you do well and utilize your relationships with others to use their skills and their strengths to ensure that holistically the business is achieving what it needs to achieve. But the only way to do that is to build trusted relationships with people that you work with. Also, as you go through business, there will always be times that you need someone to help you with something, that you maybe have an urgent thing that needs to be done now, and you need somebody to back you on it. So having those trusted, authentic relationships helps you to build that network of people that are really going to help you in your career as well as help you achieve what you need to do for the business.
Awesome. Golden words, I think. Irrespective of the stage of career, the trusted relationships. And in today's world, when we talk about human ex machine, then machines can't replace that element, right? They can get smarter at everything, but they can't be the trusted relationship part. So thank you
Absolutely.
for highlighting that. Amazing. Thank you so much, Davina. And I hope everybody enjoyed this very quick, sharp episode with our own Davina Myburgh. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.